All right there. Hey guys. So what I got going on here is have this piece of free floating laminate flooring that was sitting like this and trying to make a threshold that's going to match up with my floor. I've got a concrete floor. It's just a canvas that we spread and stained a couple years ago. We had some flooding and had to replace a door, and now the door doesn't match up exactly in the threshold, the old threshold we pulled out. So we've got cement here and trying to use the cement base, build a threshold that's going to work well with our different level of flooring here. So here's another view how you can see it. So what we did, we've already started when I decided I should make a video of it. We went ahead and we cut the laminate flooring so that it's even with the back side of the doorstop on our frame here, our door frame. Okay, and I'll show you next the piece of wood that we cut out, and I'll show you the processes as we build this new threshold. All right, guys, so here's the next part. That threshold needs to be 32 inches wide, so we're going to use this, didn't measure, I believe it's a 1x12, could be a 1x10. All right, guys, so what we got here, using the old door as kind of a workbench for right now, but need this board to be 32 inches long. Right now it is 11 inches wide, so we're going to rip down it lengthwise with our skill saw and then cross cut to our 32-inch length, and then I'll show you what that looks like afterwards. All right, so here we are back at our doorway. We got the length of our threshold cut, and as we were trying to notch it in, over here we want to come underneath this piece, so we used a reciprocating saw to just cut that little notch out on both sides. And then we realized where this concrete is, we've got a little bit of a hump that we needed to relieve. So we took a Roto-Zip with a wood bit, and we set the guide to about 1/8 of an inch, and we just went back and forth across it to kind of relieve this hump area that we see right here. All right, so the next part of our video here, the next step that we did is we wanted to make our wood edged beveled. So if you'll look along it, this bottom side is where we Roto-Zipped it to get over that hump, and then we wanted to taper it down going into the kitchen area, and then we're going to leave this back side straight. And the way that I did that, I don't know if there's a better way. Maybe somebody could comment and tell me if there's a better way. But we set the fence on our table saw at the width that we wanted on our board right here. I believe it's about 1/4 of an inch. And then I just kind of eyeballed it to where I thought that the blade would cut it, and when it got done cutting through at the highest point, that it would just be nice and flush. You can see here it's not 100% even. You can see the saw marks on it, but we're going to go through and we're going to sand it down and take out some of that. And we beveled our blade. What's it look like? Well, I don't have a guide. Looks, well, here we go. looks like about 6 degrees on a 1/4 of an inch, and I'll show you how that fits in there. So when I stand it up, put it against the fence, you can look down it, and just the very tip of the saw doesn't match. So probably could have gone a little bit steeper, not quite so angled, and could have gotten a little more length on our bevel here. But that's what I did. Alright, so here we go. We're going to start sanding. I don't have a palm sander, so I'm using my multi-function tool with a sanding head on it. I'm going to hit it first with 120 grit, or sorry, an 80 grit, and then go back over it with 120. And I'm also going to hit the edges right here along down this way. I'm going to leave the back alone for right now until I get this next piece, which is going to be a strip that we put on here, and then I'm going to even it up with the strip that I put on back. So I'll check in with you in a few minutes, show you how it's going. Alright, so here we have the threshold in place. You can see it's just flat. Got a little bit of play here where the flooring meets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a bead of caulking underneath here, put a weight on there, keep it down, help seal up that gap a little bit. It should be good. I know this is supposed to be a free floating floor, but with the unevenness, I think a little bit of caulking will just keep it from coming up. Okay, so we're getting one step closer here. Have the threshold in place, and then I took a brad nailer, nailed down the strip in the back. I'm gonna put along here, put down some weather stripping, and that'll make a really nice seal. This is an interior hollow door and it goes onto a porch, but that's what I've got to work with. It's an odd shaped door, otherwise I'd try to use a metal door, and I didn't want to spend the money to get a custom made one, so this is what we're going to try first.